Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Okay, today we are going to get into a comparison of the Hobonichi Techo Cousin and the Hobonichi Techo A6 English version. So we're going to get into these two and compare them for those who are interested and haven't seen a comparison. Because I myself hadn't when I bought them. I hadn't seen a comparison video. I've seen lots of videos on each one of these on their own. All right, so I have videos on each one of these on their own on my channel. I will try to remember to link those down below. If not, you can go to the search bar on my channel and search these out. So there's extensive videos walking you cover to cover through each of these if you're interested in seeing all the details in each one. Right now, we're just going to try to do a comparison since I already have a video covering a walkthrough of each one of these. Now, before I get into the comparison, I want to tell you what I'm using each one of these for this year. So I am using this Cousin for just a daily journal. Just not anything special, just anything and everything I want to write about our day that day. I am also cutting out some of the pictures I like from my Mary Englebright page a day calendar and just taping them in here because I love Mary Englebright and I just thought it could add to my journaling. So that is what I am using this Hobonichi Cousin for this year. It's a new thing for me. This was my first Hobonichi. One of my subscribers sent it to me. She said she was not going to be using it this year and she would love to be able to give it to me to review. And that is so, so, so generous. And I cannot tell you how happy I am that she was so generous and kind, because I don't think I would have ever bought a Hobonichi, at least this year. Somewhere down the line I probably would have, but it wasn't in my plans like right away to buy one. It was just something I thought I wouldn't love from all the ghosting and all the Chinese characters. I just didn't think it was for me, but there is something magic about this Tome River paper, and we're going to talk about that. You can see when you write on it, it ghosts a lot, and hence why it looks messy to me. I mean, I would already say my handwriting's not super neat, but it's not awful. But the pages feel like really old special paper that's, you know, like already messy and used, because it just kind of feels like parchment to me, like the parchment paper I cook on. If you're not familiar with the Tome River paper, let me just give you a quick little thing on it. It ghosts a lot, and you can see through it, as you can see, but it will not bleed through. Even with fountain pens, watercolor, it can take a lot of different mediums, and it does not bleed through. And it is super thin and lightweight, and that is why you can fit so much into one little book. In this book, in the Cousin, you have monthly views, you have weekly views, and you have a page a day for the entire year in this tiny book that is not that heavy. And all my pages are bunched up from all the pictures I've taped in there, you can see, and the wrinkled pages I've written in. But it's a very small, lightweight book, and it's from this magic paper, I'm telling you. So let's get into the differences in these books. Obviously, the size. I'm using this one right now for my daily to-do list, if you want to know what I'm using this one for. Okay, so the size of these is really different. This is your A5 size. This is your A6 size. And you can see a huge difference in size in these planners. So that's your first thing. Also in the thickness and weight of the book, because this you only have monthly and daily views. In the Cousin, you have the weeklies also thrown in there, and it's bigger. The cover in the Cousin is very substantial. It is like, I would even almost call it cardboard, and it just seems like it's going to hold up. It is a substantial cover. I think they chose a great cover. It's not exciting because they sell a ton of covers to go on here. Personally, the cover I would love to get for this is One Star Leather. Sells amazing covers for Hobonichis with so many choices. You can add on pin holders, you can add on a snap closure, or you can just have a very slim leather cover with none of that added on. So I have One Star Leather Leuchtturm cover that I absolutely just adore. And I would eventually love to get Hobonichi covers too, because you can use them year after year. So even though it's kind of a splurge purchase, it's something you can use over and over again if you know you're going to be buying the Hobonichis. And those covers will last forever. I have a whole video on that cover, and I will try to remember to link that below for you guys too. It's One Star Leather if you want to look them up, and my video, hopefully I will remember to link that below. Okay, so the cover is not anything special, but it will hold up. This cover is not thick. This cover I would just call hard cardstock, and it's much, much more bendable. But the book is much more lightweight. This cover doesn't, feel as nice in hand to me. It feels like a little cheap Bible to me. But that's what it reminds me of. I do like how the date's on the side of this one. And you have some Japanese characters on the front there. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. In the English versus the Japanese version. All right, Sundays are always red in both versions. You have full views of your year. Then you have your yearly index for both. But this is what it looks like in the Japanese versus the English version. So this is your yearly view that you can index things on or write an event per day or plan ahead on. So I talk more extensively about these in the full walkthroughs, but these are your yearly indexes. So you will notice in the English version, they only have every Sunday in red, and that's it. In the Japanese version, every Saturday is their bluish gray, and then every Sunday is their red. And then every holiday in Japan is this light reddish pink. So you have a lot going on there. There's their colors denoted there. So that is your yearly look. They both have the same yearly look. Let's go to a month I have not written it in here to be able to look at. Okay, let's go to the same month in the English version so we can see what it looks like. All right, so the Japanese versus the English version. You can see in the Japanese version, though, you do get Mon to Wednesday. You get the day abbreviations. You just don't have the whole day written out. Both of the calendars start on a Monday start, which is not typical for American calendars. You can see how the Japanese holidays are denoted with a light pink stripe there. And that is not on the English version at all. There are no holidays on the English version. There are no English holidays, no Japanese holidays. So you do get Japanese holidays noted like that all throughout this planner. Then here's a big difference. You can see your Saturday and Sunday over here. All your Saturdays are, your grayish blue, navy hue. And then all your Sundays are your pinkish hue with your red right there. In the English version, all it is just red with your number. So you can see that big difference there. Both of them tell you what week you're on for the year. So they both note that, which I really love to know what week I'm on. So I love that. And they are both numbered in the same fonts. They both give you the month before in light gray. And so that's the same. All right. You can see what happens when your month has more than 5 weeks. They add on down here just a little bit smaller boxes, but they're not as small to me as splitting that whole box in half. So I think that's a good plan on there. Okay, another thing to note is how here it's just stripped down. There's just a 7. It's just a little bit cleaner and less color. And here you have your big 7 for July written right there. And you do have your July written in English. It's just you also have the Japanese characters. Okay, so that's how your monthly views look. I will give you a peek into the cousin weekly views, but the Techo here in English does not come with weekly views. So there are no weekly views in this book. And if you really want to know more about this book, watch the full review I have on this. So here are just your weeks, and they start on a Monday, like the big calendar. They go on a 24-hour period, 5 a.m. It goes all the way to 4 a.m. down here. So it's on a 24-hour period if you want to use those time slots. You get a full monthly view for every week. I love that. and they circle the week you're on. I just love that because you don't have to be flipping anywhere. It's just right there in front of you. And like this week is switching from June to July. So they have 6.7 right in there. So July 1st is right here. And in your weeks, it follows the way the months go. Saturday is a blue and Sunday is a red. Okay, and you do have a note section right here. So that's how the weeks look in the cousin. Oh, I also wanted to point out, I love here how even on the week, they tell you it's the 26th week. So they tell you that in the monthly view, but they're also restating that in the weekly view. All right, let's get into the daily pages because this one doesn't have any weekly pages for us to do a comparison of. Okay, first difference is every month in the cousin is a different color. So you can see this is red for January. It's this brownish color for February. And then we come into kind of a lavender for March. So I go through this on my full review video. A pink for April. So every single month has a different color in the cousin. Now, that is not the case in our daily here. So let's compare our days that are not a Sunday. Let's compare this. So as I mentioned, each month is a different color in the cousin. In the small English version, there is absolutely no color. The only colors are Sundays are red. So every other day is black, every month is black. So here is March, which is this light lavender color, and everything on the page follows that monthly color. So your grid graph paper here follows that monthly color. Your timed slots, the Japanese quote at the bottom, every single page thing on the page is that color of the month. Okay, so let's compare the pages. On the cousin, you have time slots that could start right here before 6 a.m. And then it goes 6, okay, 9, so you're going in like 3-hour blocks, 12, 3 p.m., 6 p.m., but they're doing military time, 9 p.m., and then midnight, and then 3 a.m., and then it would start back over at 6 a.m. So you do have a 24-hour cycle here, but it's in 3-hour time blocks. And so they're only using half the page if you wanted to block out times. They also have a really little bit darker line going right down here. So if you just wanted to use this time column right here, then this side would be your to-do list. And then the line ends here, and this would be open for whatever else you want. So I'm not sure how well that shows up on camera, but that's the way it is. And then at the top, I will try to give you a closer look. You do have these 5 boxes you can tick off for the top of the day if you want to put something special up here, or your top 3 to-dos, that type of thing. And here's a little bit darker line. Hopefully you can see now that it's closer up. If you want to block off that timed column and just use that there. And then this is open for a to-do list. And then this is open for notes or whatever else you need to keep. And then you do have a Japanese quote down at the bottom of every page. And on the right-hand side of every page, you have that month's calendar. And you have the 2 days circled that 2-page spread is on, which I think is really cool. You also have that in the English version one over here. So how is this day different? Well, other than it being a lot smaller, right? They both still have the moon cycles. They both tell you what day of the year you're on. So you're on day 157 of the year. Here you're on day 72 of the year. They tell you what day of the week. Here they tell you you're on week 23. I don't see anything here. It does not tell you what week you're on of the year here. But you're on week 23 and it tells you that here. You have just a blank slot up here if you wanted to use that for your temperature, weather, or whatever you want to put there for the day. And then you have your grid, which is always black. And then you just have a 12 o'clock marking right here. That's it. And a dinner marking right here. So you can either use the time column on this. You can use this to list out times, or you cannot use it. So you can pretty much divide this page however you want. You do have a quote in English at the bottom, but it is quotes like from Japan translated to English, I believe, because they've all seemed a little bit weird to me. I haven't found one that I just love yet of the few that I've read through. So I kind of just wish that was just all blank, because I would definitely use that room on this small page. So that's a wish I have, but I know many people might like the quotes. You also have the same thing going on here with your monthly view calendar and then the 2 days circled that you are on for that 2-page spread, which I just think is so nice because it's giving you a really quick glance at where am I in my month. And if you need to look just a quick monthly view, you're not having to flip anywhere. So both of these, could be used for so many things. Like I'm using this for journaling. This would be a great journal and a great gratitude journal also. It's just really, whatever use you want to make it for. It definitely does not have to be just for calendaring. It can be planning your daily events. It can be planning your daily timed events. It can be for journaling. It can be for just a list of that day, taking notes in whatever meeting you're in. And then you come back to the index, and then you can write what your notes were about that day or what that meeting was about. And that way, when you need to find those notes, they will be on the right day that you took them on, but they will be indexed. Sorry, let me find that index. So you could write what notes were on that certain day, so it would be easy to go search for them if you needed to go back, if you were using this like as a note-taking, tool at work. So there's just a lot of uses for both of these books. I feel like they're just versatile. They have this amazing magic paper that makes you be able to fit so many pages, a page per day for the year and monthly spreads in here, and it's so tiny and so light. All right, guys, I hope that this comparison helped someone. Let me know if you use either one of these books and what you use them for. I'd love to hear that down below in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy planning until next time. Bye-bye.